Ladies and gentlemen, it is with warm pleasure that I welcome you on our show Race Previews, which is held every Friday, where we will help you to analyze the race card of the 8th meeting to be held tomorrow, Saturday, 6th of May 2023. And by my side, as usual, our racing consultant from South Africa, Devon Habib. Hi Devon, how are you doing today?
Yes, hi Ria, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, I just got to inform the public that the bet about last week's race against Ron's Joy and my horse, I think
the
I
do
came
or
out
dare
on top.
one,
Yeah,
the bet of the century.
100%. I had to inform them that I won that bet just to keep them updated, you know. But yeah, very excited for the race meeting ahead, and yeah, let's get going. I've got a few nice horses on the meeting, and I think we've got to let the punters know that, I mean, there's some information about the track that I'm sure you can revert to, and yeah, we'll keep them updated with how it is throughout the day, and I'm very excited for the meeting ahead.
And to remind our viewers, for the time being, the track reading is 2.93 miles, and there'll be false rails at 3 meters. So now, without wasting any more time, so we start with race 1, Le Vrai Débat Cup, which will be run over 990 meters, 0.25 with 6 runners, number 1 Mayenne, number 2 Rain Must Fall, number 3 Quest for Good, number 4 Savi, number 5 African Fate, and number 6 Northern Rebel. Devon, your picks for race 1.
Yeah, look, it looks like quite a nice race, and it looks quite a race set for a horse like Rain Must Fall. I'm very confident on this horse. I think he won a really good race when he beat Chief Rafif by 5 lengths, and then a good run last time where he ran second. I'll make this one of my better bets on the day, and I think it's going to be very hard to beat him. So I'm very strong on number 2, Rain Must Fall. For second, look, obviously we've got to touch on this horse, Quest for Good. I mean, he was really working well last season, very, very fit last season, and he didn't do anything wrong. He ran second, and then his last run he ran 5th, 7 lengths behind, but I think he needed that his penultimate start, or his last start, and we can check his last run over here. This is actually going back to Rain Must Fall.
Yeah.
And yeah, he ran a really, really good ratio behind a top horse of Al Patron, and he's got the blue and white colors.
Rain Must Fall is a favorite in the race.
Yeah, he's a very hot favorite, and I think it'll be very hard to beat him. I'm very confident. I think this is going to be quite an easy race for him to win, in my opinion.
He's been quite consistent on 990 meters.
Yeah, and that was a good run for him, a comeback run, and I think he'll prove very fit. I mean, it will be very hard to peg this horse back. We're talking about Rain Must Fall, just to let everyone know.
And for the blessings, sir?
Yeah, look, Quest for Good, I'm tipping him to run second. I do like him quite a bit, and he's got good form. So yeah, let's tip him to run second. I just think it's going to be hard to turn the form around on Rain Must Fall. And for third, look, number 1, it's a new horse in Mauritius, and I know him from South Africa. I mean, he's been running against some nice horses.
So you can tell our viewers a bit about the form in essence.
Yeah, so the time when he ran 4th to a horse called Quest from Afar. Now, quite a nice horse, Quest from Afar. My brother rode it that day, and he won by an easy margin, by 7-8 lengths, and it was just a matter of time for that horse to turn his form around and become a really good horse. And it was a good ride from him that day. And I mean, so if you take that horse out the race, Quest from Afar won by 4, and he only got beat maybe a length, 2 lengths behind. So yeah, I think he's a really nice horse. I mean, Cold Hard Stays come out and won a few. Argo Alley, they've gelded him now, and he's been running some decent races. So he's got some decent form. And yeah, I really think this horse will go quite close. I mean, I'm not going to tip him to win because I just want to see how he goes, but I think he'll go very, very close.
And finally, number 6, Northern Rebel, to complete the quartet.
Yeah, look, number 6, Northern Rebel, also like a nice looking horse, and I think he's got a chance. I think he's got a bit of a chance with that form. I mean, he's been running 3rd and 4th these last few starts. So I think he's got a chance for the back end of quartets. But I mean, we've got to also touch on a horse like African Fate, claim 4, carrying 52.5 kilograms. That's going to be a major runner as well, and he's a new horse. So I think
New apprentice also.
Yeah, so I think he also has to be thrown into the back end of things.
So for the win, number 2, Rain Must Fall, and for the placings, number 3, Quest for Good, number 1, Mayen, and number 6, Northern Rebel. We'll now move on to race 2, the race review cup with 6 runners to be run over 1500 meters, 0:20. Number 1, Most of All I Survey, number 2, After the Order, number 3, French Rebel, number 4, Al Jazeera, number 5, The Hitman, and number 6, African Rock. Your choice for this race.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with the horse that ran quite a bad race last time, and I think Al Jazeera, yeah, I think he's going to bounce back to that penultimate form. I don't think they're going to be like, I don't think you can take too much into that form. Sorry,
he's changed the equipment as well.
Changed the equipment, and he's got the tongue tie on for the first time. So I think maybe he pulled up coughing or choking or something like that. So I think maybe Tucker informed to put the tongue tie on, and I think we're going to see a big run from this horse.
Race?
Yeah, he's really not the horse that you can see from this run. He's definitely.
So we'll watch now his first run of the season, Al Jazeera.
He's got the yellow drawn one. You can see he's got the pace, he's really speedy, and I think surely there was a problem, so let's scrap that penultimate or the start, and let's go from there. I think we can restart with this horse, just draw a line through his last run.
Yeah. So I think the fact that he's putting now across noseband might help him in the race.
Yeah, it's definitely a big...
And also the 1500 will suit the horse more.
Yeah, look, he's going to have that pace, so he's going to get to the front easily, and it's not going to be hard for him to keep that pace up there. I mean, you can see he's there. He's got the pace, and he's done absolutely nothing wrong in this race. And then on the day, Double Think was the right horse. I didn't see them beating him. And yeah, I mean, he really performed, and you can see now, I mean, Tucker's still there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the horse just obviously starts to stop, because I think maybe he started choking up or something like that, because the tongue tie has obviously been put on. There's nothing left.
Exactly.
Absolutely, the tank's empty. He's gone. So yeah, I think let's just draw a line through that. He might have needed the run badly. Tucker's looking to see what's wrong with the horse, so I think maybe he's not breathing or something like that. I'm gonna give him a second chance.
And for the placings, Devon.
Look, Ramana Stable's been in hot form. They've been really flying at the moment, and you can't leave out a horse like Master of All I Survey out of anything. So I'm going to tip him to run into the back, into second. I think he's got a nice draw of 1, and he's a really nice horse going forward. So I think let's tip him for second. He's definitely one that we'll have to watch out for. He's probably the favourite of the race. Taking a bit of a roughie, yeah, with Al Jazeera to win, and he's sitting at about 260, so he's about 26 to 10, 2 to 1, somewhere around there, you know. So he's a good price as well, and I think let's tip him for second, and for third, it was like After the Order. Sergeant York.
Nice win last time, this horse.
And Sergeant York came out and ran a good race. So I think he's a massive runner. I mean, nice to see Ramden having winners so early in the season, and I think yeah, he's also running well, so he's definitely one that has to be included with the club jockey of Danu on as well. And
number 5, finally, the Hitman.
Yeah, look, this horse is a nice horse, the Hitman. So, and I mean, I think he's a really nice horse. Not even just saying he's a nice horse. He's got decent form. I think he might just need this run, but going forward, he's a big runner.
He's joined a new stable, Shirish Narang. And you think the 1500 meters are good for the start?
Yeah, I think 1500 is perfect, because that's probably one of his shortest distances he runs. So it will be a nice opener for him. And going forward for the season, I think he's going to be a nice horse, one to watch. Put one in the black book, or put him in your black book.
So number 4, Al Jazeera for the win, and for the placings, number 1, Most of All I Survey, number 2, After the Order, and number 5, the Hitman. Following on to race 3, the Straightforward Cup, which will be run over 990 meters, benchmark 31 with 7 runners. Number 1, Captain of the Sea, number 2, Al, number 3, Gang Leader, number 4, Straight, number 5, Captain's Fort, number 6, the new Hudson River, and number 7, Trojan Quest. So, Devon, which horse you like for the win here?
I'm sure you probably could have guessed this one. It's one of my favorite horses, and I think he's a really good horse as well. And it's number 4, Straight. I definitely like him. It's not a coincidence that the race is named Straightforward, but yeah, I'm tipping him to win. I think he was very unlucky last time. Extremely unlucky. He ran third, and we can watch in his run. Yeah. He's got the purple cap, purple colors with a red cap, and yeah, he's running consistently. He's one of those horses that you can always rely on to run a good race, and he's at the back of the field now. 990 might be a touch too short for him, but I think with Derek David on, he's in really good form. I think it's going to be hard to leave him out and not tip him. I've tipped him every time, so I'm going to tip him again. I think he's a major runner come race day.
And one question, do you think the transition from 1500 meters to 990 meters will suit the horse?
Yeah, look, I think it will suit him, and the hard part is that he ran last week, so I think that might also suit him as well. The 990 will be like another gallop for him, so he wasn't working himself up, so it wasn't a hard race for him last week. So I think, yeah, let's maybe give him a chance to see how he goes on race day. And if this horse isn't playing up and he isn't worked up, I think he's a major runner. I fancied him, yeah, to run second. He ran the short-head third, so he was very unlucky. And
tight finish.
It was a very close. He looked race over. You can see he looks like he's going to win it, and then chosen way on the outside from a really good ride from Donahue, came to grab them both Nagodi horses on the line. He still looks a winner. Exactly. It was very close. So yeah, I'm tipping him to win. I think he's a winner without a penalty, and he should be in a higher division.
Going to win the Straightforward Cup.
The Straightforward Cup, definitely.
And for the placings?
Look, this horse Gang Leader is a very speedy horse, and he pulls a lot, so the 990 will suit him, and I think he's going to be quite a big runner. Yeah, he's run behind Night King. Anything that can run behind Night King
exactly
is a big horse, so I think he's a big runner. He ran behind Illicit Kiss. I'm making him the biggest danger to Straight. I think he's the horse that they all have to obviously watch out for. He's probably sitting favoritism at the moment. Yeah, he's sitting at 240. He's favourite. Straight is second favourite at 340. So I'm tipping Gang Leader to run second in this race.
And what about Trojan Quest, a last time winner?
Yeah, look, he beat Almost Winter last time though, and yeah,
that horse, you all know what happened on his next outing.
Yeah, he didn't really do too much last time. He actually broke down, and yeah, they had to euthanize him. So sympathies to the owners and the horse himself. But yeah, I think he's a nice horse, and he ran a really good race. But for me, I didn't tip him in that race, and I thought it was a weak field. So I'm gonna leave him for third, yeah, because he did prove to me that he's something, and he won a really good race. And yeah, Nawaz Rawat's horses are running very well, so we've got to tip him into the back end. And yeah, he's definitely got a chance. His form's pretty consistent. So
yes,
he's a nice runner. Yeah.
It's not an issue for the horse, but the field is a bit strong.
It's a lot stronger than last time, 100%.
Yeah. And finally, number 1, Captain of the Sea, starting his season 2023. Run against good horses in the past, Night King, Emerald Ben, Godry Well.
Look, there's not much to take away from his run last time, where he ran 8 lengths behind Night King, where Gang Leader ran 7.5 lengths behind Night King. So there's not much difference in that form. He was carrying 59, and Night King Gang Leader that day was carrying 57.5. Now it's almost the same. I think it was 1 kilogram better off for half a length beating. So I think he might need this run, but he'll be there. He'll be there and thereabouts. I want to just mention this horse, the new horse that we've got, Hudson River. The United States He's done wonders in South Africa, the breeding. I'm not tipping him to run anywhere into this race. I would love to see how he goes. I think it's a very big step for him to jump into such a strong race as his first run, but surely the connections must think highly of him to do such things. And I mean, his breeding is really good. So I mean, United States is a top sire, and he's breeding horses in South Africa that are very speedy, like Sheila. So I'm gonna tip him as a dark horse to watch out for in this race. I wouldn't say he'll win it or anything like that, but let's just tip and see how he goes, going forward for the meeting.
So tipped by Devon in the third race for the win, number 4 Straight, and for the placings number 3 Gang Leader, number 7 Trojan Quest, and number 1 Captain of the Sea, and to follow closely the New Hudson River. Moving on to race 4, the race previews cup, which will be run over 1600 meters, a benchmark 31, with 6 runners, number 1 Eagles Vision, number 2 Liverpool Champ, number 3 Nimitz, number 4 Beneve, number 5 Tigers Rock, and number 6 Gigin. So Devon, the race previews cup and Eagles Vision by my side.
100%. Yeah, look, I mean, that's been our joke for very long, and funny enough, it's in the race that is named after our show. So I think, yeah, that's quite sentimental for me, and I'm tipping Eagles Vision definitely to win. Not because of that. I think he's the right horse in the race. He ran third behind Instinctive Power,
who won next outing,
who's a really top horse. So I think it's going to be very hard to beat Eagles Vision. I'm quite confident. I know you liked him very strongly last time.
Yeah.
And
this time also.
This time he's definitely one of my better bets on the day, and I think even though he's favourite at 16 to 10, I think he's the horse that they'll have to beat.
Now we are looking at the track work of the horse.
And he's in a really, really good space.
Really very good shape.
Nice to see Derek Scott the ride as he's become club jockey, so he can ride for, or not club jockey, he's become a Mauritian citizen. Yeah. So he can ride for wherever he wants to now, and it's really nice to see that. I mean, it's been a long time coming for him.
And for the placings, number 6 Gigin, who's moving up in class, not a consistent horse, but you like him for the placings.
Yeah, look, I tipped him to win last time, or to run into the fighting stages, so I'm going to tip him again. I do like him a lot, and I think he's a really nice horse. I'm tipping him to run second, and yeah, I think he's got a massive chance. I mean, his run last time was a nice pipe opener, and I think he'll prove a lot fitter. And he's dropped in class from 36 to 31. I mean, last time he raced 0.25, but he might have needed that run and it was too short for him. So now at 1600, I think he's also left to be scared of.
And number 2, Liverpool Champ, from same stable with Deneuve on board. Last time, maybe the distance was too short. Blinkers again, dropping down in class. He's the one to follow.
Yeah, look, I think any horse that can run a length behind Christmas Bay is a massive run, So I do like Christmas Bay. I think Christmas Bay is a really good horse, and this horse has been running just behind him. So yeah, I think he's going to be there and thereabouts. He might need one more run, in my opinion, but I think he could prove better than what his form suggests and win the race. But the distance might also still be a bit too short still for him. So once he gets to his 1800, 2000, then you'll see a really nice horse from him.
And finally, number 5, Tigers Rock, with Bernard Federer on board, trained at Petit Gamin. Fitted with Alamite shoes this time. Can he try a tactical race?
I mean, we got to take notice onto the fact that Bernard's taken the ride. I think that's a major thing. I mean, his stats at the moment are phenomenal.
He's doing well for Ramana.
100%, and he's had what, 9 rides, 6 winners, 2 seconds, and a third.
The leader.
That is phenomenal. I mean, what's it, like a 70% strike rate for wins? It's very, very hard to see something like that, and I think we've got to notice the fact that he's taken the ride. I know this horse is working extremely well, and he's in a really good space. So I mean, he ran 8 lengths behind Instinctive Power. He's definitely going to enjoy the step up in distance, and it's definitely a huge run. I mean, the horse I'm tipping to win ran 6 lengths behind Instinctive Power. This has only run 8 lengths, and he's a much bigger price. So I think he's a lot of value in this race, and that's probably my value bet for the race.
So number 1, Eagles Vision for the win, and for the placings, number 6, number 2, and number 5. Moving on to race 5, the TOC Cup, which will be run over 1365 meters in benchmark 61 with 5 runners. Number 1, Likeriu. Number 2, Your Pace or Mine. Number 3, Juniper Lane. Number 4, Most of Illusion. And number 5, Prince of Venice. Your selections, Devon?
I'm very strong, very strong on number 5, Prince of Venice. I think he's a big runner. He's probably going to be a really nice price of like 4-5 to 1.
Exactly, I was just checking that out.
And yeah, I do fancy him quite a bit in this race. I think his run last time was a very big run behind Captain Flint. I mean, if anyone can remember that day, the way Captain Flint walked into the parade ring, they were never beating him. So I think, yeah, he's a horse that we'll have to watch out for, and see how he goes. And the time before that, he won quite a really good race. So yeah, I'm tipping him to win. And look, obviously his danger is going to come from like Juniper Lane and Your Pace or Mine, where Your Pace or Mine's beaten him before. But I feel like he might be a little bit fitter than Your Pace or Mine, and Dinesh Sufil's had his winner, so he's broken the ice. I mean, he has Prince of Venice, he's working extremely well, and he looks like he's in a good space. I mean, this horse is flying at the moment, so I think, yeah, I think he's a big runner.
And for the placings, number 3, Juniper Lane, his stablemate, who won a nice win last time, but this time he's going up in benchmark 61. Do you think it will be easy for this horse?
Look, he's stepping himself up quite a bit. He's gone from a 46 to a 51 to a 56 now to a 61. It's a massive step up in class. But every time he's stepping up, he's producing. So I think we've got to take note of that. I mean, he beat Dynamite Jack last time. Dynamite Jack got nipped off on the line last week and was very unlucky not to win. So the form line's franked, and yeah, he's got a decent draw of 4, and he's got a good jockey of Tucker with claim 1.5 on the back. So I'm gonna tip him to run second. Yeah, I think he's the one that has to run second. In my opinion, his form is very strong, and yeah, he's definitely a major runner. And for third, like we were speaking about, most like Your Pace or Mine, who's beaten Prince of Venice last time. So yes, the form's very similar, but it's still, he's beaten him. We've got to take that into account. Just the weight turnarounds now are probably almost the same, and I just think the fitness level that is going to make a big difference to the fact that Prince of Venice is going to run better than Your Pace or Mine.
And finally, number 4, Most of Illusion. The horse has worked well at training, but in my opinion, he might need this run.
100%. I also feel like he'll need the run. I'm going to draw a line through his last run behind Blackburn Rock, and yeah, I think he's definitely one of them that have to be included. It's very hard to separate him and Leclerc. They're both really nice horses. So yeah, I'm going to say he will run 4th, but Leclerc could also run 4th. It's very difficult at the back end.
So number 5, Prince of Venice for the win, and for the placings, number 3, Juniper Lane, number 2, Your Pace or Mine, and number 4, Master of Illusion. And now the Ampis Cup, which will be run over 1400 meters. This is a listed race, Devon, the main race of the day, with only 4 runners. Number 1, Aliasat, number 2, Blackburn Rock, number 3, Hubble, and number 4, The Dazzler. Your favorite in this race?
I'm gonna tip very strong Blackburn Rock.
So I see you fancy Mahadia stable.
Yeah, I think his horses are in a really good space and they're working really well, but I think it's going to be very hard to beat Blackburn Rock. I'm very confident on him. I think it's going to be an easy race for him to win, and he'll win it going well, like really winning quite well.
Good jockey on board, number 2 in the
100%. I mean, the jockey's also in really good form, flying at the moment. I think he's on 5 winners, and his last run when Tucker rode him, it was just very impressive. I think it was around the bend, we knew race over. No one was catching him. You can see he's just with the yellow and red colours on the rail. Probably sitting 3rd, 4th at the moment, and you can see he's in a good space. Yeah, he's sitting 3rd on the rail, and very hard to go against this horse after that run.
He's run against good horses, Warsaw Dubrovnik, Your Pace or Mine, Captain Flint and all.
Yeah, 100%. Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold's a really nice horse. So I think, yeah, we've got to keep an eye out on this horse. I think he's one for the Black Book.
And for the placings, number 3 Hubble with Hydra 1 on board, draw number 1 in the stalls, small field. Do you think pillar to post in this race is possible?
Yeah, look, I think Hubble's got a chance, but I just want to show you at the back end of the race where they come into the final home straight with Blackburn Rock. You can see now around the bend, boom, Tucker pulls the trigger and race over. They were never gonna catch him. He pulls 5-6 lengths clear, and this is what makes me like this horse. I think it's going to be very, very hard to beat something like this after. I mean, he's putting leaps and bounds between him and the field. Like, he could have won by 10. I mean, he won by what, 6 lengths that day, 5.5 lengths.
Yeah.
Very, very easy winner. So yeah, I mean, we can bounce back to your horse now. Hubble, that you were speaking about. His last start he won. And he is a nice horse, obviously changed stables. He's got a top jockey up, one of the best Mauritian jockeys. I know he's your favourite. I mean, I saw that smile as I mentioned the jockey. So yeah, look, he's drawn 1. I don't think that makes much of a difference. He's definitely my second selection.
And number 4, the Dazzler.
Look, if the Dazzler comes back to his South African form, he's a really nice horse, but he is getting a bit old now, along in the tooth. Same as a horse like Aliasad. I think he'll probably run 3rd. I mean, he ran 3rd to Twist of Fate. It's a really good run. So if he can produce that run, he's a massive runner.
And Aliasad to complete the quartet, a classy horse, but I see you don't fancy this one.
Look, I don't fancy him at all. I think
he's posed his best.
I think he's I actually don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him. I really liked him last season, but he disappointed last 2 starts, and I just want to see him come back to himself for the owner's sake, for the horse's sake, for the trainer, for everyone's sake. I'd love to see him come back to himself, but I can't tip him knowing that he's had 2 major bad runs like he did last 2 starts. So I'm going to tip him to run last, in my opinion.
So for the win in race 6, number 2 Blackburn Rock, and for the placings, number 3 Hubble, number 4 the Dazzler, and number 1 Aliasad.
Yeah, 100%.
And now race 7, the Daily Live Champ de Mos Training Cup race, which will be run over 990 meters, benchmark 46 with 8 runners. Number 1 Action Pack, number 2 Denan, number 3 We Light the Fire, number 4 Brilliant Disguise, number 5 Swagger Jagger, number 6 Duke's Domain, number 7 Night King, and number 8 Spry. So is this a question to be asked, your main pick in this race?
No, it's probably very obvious.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a blind man can tip this horse. I wouldn't be called a genius by saying that this will win. I think he'll win in a time of 54 again.
Such an impressive
really,
win
really
on his
good.
first outing also.
Number 7, Night King. I'm tipping him strong. I think he's one of the better bets on the card. He's a banker, bank of the day, bank of the century again.
He's the rising
he's the
star
right horse,
of Yannick
100%.
Pedro's stable.
He's a really, really good horse, and he's got draw 1, claim on him.
Claim
Yeah,
on board.
it's a no-brainer to make him your pick 6 banker. You can bank him in everything. You can. Yeah, he's the horse that they'll have to
So
beat.
now we'll watch his race.
You can see how he won last time. It was really, really good. I mean, they chased the whole way, and they cut throats the whole way, and he still won. He's got the black and white colours, black with a white slash, and he's up in front, sitting, I think, 2nd now, with the Nagadu horse next to him, chasing him the whole way. They don't stop. They cut throats the whole way, and this horse still quickens. It's ultra impressive. I know he's a 990 specialist, and I really liked him as a horse before he won, and I think he's proven that. So yeah, I mean, look, he's pulling away from the field now already, and you could see it's already a no race. So he's going to do the same come race day. I think he's in a decent field, and I think they'll have to run really, really fast to beat this horse. I mean, I think he'll complete the hat-trick.
Mm-hmm. Impressive win on his first outing 2023. Even if he's moving up in class, I don't think this is going to be an issue for this horse.
No, I think he's the right horse in the race. I don't see much beating him.
And for the placings, number 1 from same stable, Action Pact.
Yeah, look, I think Action Pack's also a very, very speedy horse. I mean, he's run behind some nice horses over that 990, and I think he's a big runner. He's probably the biggest danger to Night King. So yeah, I think, but I don't see him beating Night King, but I think he'll run there and thereabouts.
And number 3, We Light the Fire from Simon Jones stable, impressive. On 990 meters, where he ran against Edgeton Blue, who won the race last time.
I mean, he lost 1 length that day and he came flying. He got beat a short head to Edgeton Blue. And also, if you remember that day, the pace was extremely hot, and the top 2 dropped at the 300. So I think he could run a really good race again. I do like him as a horse. He was like all of a sudden, like at the back of the field, next minute the commentator was like, and then we have fire, we light the fire, and then bam, on the scene, you know. And he came flying to run a short head second, or like half a length second. So I think he's a nice horse to run to the back end of things. I mean, any person would think he'd go further with the way he ran, but his next 2 starts have been disappointing. So maybe he's just the out-and-out sprinter. So I'm going to tip him to run 3rd.
And finally, number 5, Swagger Jagger from Samraja Mahadia stable. I think 990 meters, good for his start.
I think this horse has been running against some really good horses last year. I mean, we all forgot how good Cartel Boss was. I mean, Cartel Boss was unbeaten over 990. And he ran 2nd to Cartel Boss, 2nd to Henry Tudor. Was also a
can try a tactical race here.
I think this horse is a big runner. So let's not forget about him. And he's probably a massive price of like 10, 12 to 1. So yeah, he's definitely one that we'll have to factor in for the back end of quartet.
And so number 7, Night King for the win, and for the placings, number 1, Action Pact, number 3, We Light the Fire, and number 5, Swagger Jagger. Finally, the last race on the card, the Daily Live JML Equestrian Center Training Cup, 1400 meters, a benchmark 36 with 8 runners. Number 1, Jetstream. Number 2, King of Colds, which has been scratched today. Number 3, Cloud Seeder. Number 4, Sid Slizen. Number 5, Desert Illusion. Number 6, James Peter. Number 7, Inauguration. And number 8, Universe Boss. I'm going to ask you about your selections in this race, Devon.
Yeah, look, I think a horse like Sid's Liaison, he ran a blunder last time behind Instinctive Power. I mean, we tip in horses on the day that run behind Instinctive Power 6-7 lengths. This horse has run 2.7 lengths behind Instinctive Power. And yeah, I think any horse that can run within 3 lengths of Instinctive Power is a massive run. So I'm tipping him to win, and probably win convincingly. I think he's going to be a really nice horse.
Leaders of the jockey here.
100%. Bernard Fader, draw 1.
And we are looking at the race.
You can watch his last run, yeah, where he ran 2nd to Instinctive Power. He's obviously got the purple colours sitting 2nd. Instinctive Power's in front, Derek's riding it there, and very good run from him. I mean, Bernard rode Sid Liaison on Saturday last week, or Sunday last week, and I think he'll know the horse very well now. So, I mean, he's tracking Instinctive Power. It looks like he's going to do something. I just think Instinctive Power is a little bit too strong for him. And when they turn for home, you can see he still makes big ground up on him, and doesn't let him get away too far. But it's going to be very hard for a horse to overturn a top horse like Instinctive Power on his day.
And with the first draw, this is not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if Instinctive Power was in this race,
that's difficult for him.
100%. And if Instinctive Power was in this race, I'd make him my bank of the card. So I'm going to tip Sid Liaison to win as well. And you can see he's running a massive ratio there, Instinctive Power. He likes to do this where he ducks into the outside. Or ducks out, not ducks into the outside. And I mean, you can see Sid Liaison running a massive 2nd there. He beats the field quite easily.
He's being kept in great shape as well.
And I think they're just going to play with him this weekend, and or this week leading up to the weekend. And come weekend, he'll be fit and ready to race again. Yeah, it's going to be quite hard to beat him, in my opinion. He is the favourite, so I'm not finding you an outside or anything like that. I think he's the right horse in the race.
And number 6, James Peter for the placings.
Yeah, James Peter's got some decent form. It might be a touch too short for him, but I mean, he won over 14.50. And then he ran a massive race where he ran 2nd, 0.15 to Canary Island. I think this is the dark horse in the race. He's at 4-5 to 1. I think he's the one that we'll have to watch out for.
And number 6, Universe Boss with Devon Habib on board. First outing 2023.
Yeah, number 8. Very, very big run last time to Imperial Rage. I mean, before that he ran behind a horse like $1 Million Man, who's like a massive horse in the top division. So yeah, he is a nice horse that we'll have to keep an eye out on, and I just want to see him run in a big race, and then we can tip him going forward. He's a nice price, so he's a bit of value for this race.
And number 1, finally, Jetstream, who drops massively in close for his first outing 2023. Good condition at track work. Do we need to watch out for this?
100%, and you got a really good jockey of Tucker up, but it's just got a bad draw of 8, so that's why I'm tipping him to run 4th. I think he's going to be a nice horse going forward for the season, so this might just be a run for him to come on, you know. And he's a nice price of 4-5 to 1, so you can't really get hurt having a small bet on him.
So in the 8th race, Devon likes number 4, Sitleisen for the win and for the placings. Number 6, James Peter. Number 8, Universe Boss, and number 1, Jetstream. Now I'm going to ask you about your best bets of the day, Devon.
Look, I mean, obviously my one best bet will definitely be Night King. He's the right horse on the day, and in race 1, number 2, Rain Must Fall. That's my second best bet of the day.
And as value bets?
My value bet comes up in race 3, number 4, Straight. I think he's a nice value. I think he's sitting at about 3-4 to 1, if not even more, 5 to 1. Yeah, he's a nice value. And then in race 4, number 1, Eagle's Vision, is also my value bet. And I think we also just got to touch on the fact that Blackburn Rock has to be one of those horses that you factor in as one of your bankers on the day as well.
Okay, so now we have reached the end of our show. Thank you, Devon, for your presence and analysis.
It's only a pleasure, and I didn't get to ask you what's your best bet and your value bet for the day.
My best bet would be Night King in race 7, and as value bet Quest for Good in race 1. I think this horse is one to follow, and also James Peter in the last race.
Yeah, I think James Peter is also a massive runner. So yeah, I think we both agree on horses that we're not going to have a chocolate race here.
Exactly. I still owe you one.
Yeah, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't eat chocolate, so it's fine.
So big thanks to you for your presence
it's
and analysis here.
And yeah, I would like to take this time to say thank you to the technical team behind the scenes, the media, and People's Turf Place for giving us this opportunity to host a show like this. And we thank the punters and the people for coming racing and keeping this game alive. So yeah, thank you very much for everything, and good luck punting, and I hope I tip you guys 8 out of 8.
Exactly. So special mention to our production team behind the scene, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching our show as usual. Till then, see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.